My self-worth has skyrocketed by learning how to love one-to-one coaching again. When you feel like a good coach and you can coach anyone, that confidence is palpable when you show up to sell anything ever again. You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I am so excited for today's episode. And I am also so excited because this weekend, as you're listening to this, I'm going to visit my biz bestie, Mackenzie. She lives in San Francisco and we're going to eat good food, go out and get some drinks, talk business because we love to do that, go on hikes. We're going to have so much fun. My business completely changed when I started having real friendships in the online space because, people are like dogs. We're not always going to get along. So it's really nice when you meet genuine humans that you can trust. And in the last round of the mastermind I was in, I found my people and Kenzie is one of them. We meet every week with our other friends so we can co-work and hang out, and it's so nice. They also help me clean up so much of my mind drama and help me with my business. So if you don't got any biz besties, you need some. Mackenzie and I held each other's hands last year when we were both hot messes in need of coaching every single day, and I legit would not have survived being burnt out without her. Of course, I have my BFFs here at home, but it's also so nice to have business friends who understand that part of you and are doing the same thing as you. And this is actually why I implemented monthly workshops and group calls for my one-to-one coaching container, Worthy and Wealthy. I wanted to give my one-to-one clients the opportunity to be in the room with other women who are online coaches and service providers and hear each other being coached so they can realize they're not alone in their struggles. This is just one amazing feature of Worthy and Wealthy, my 6-month one-to-one coaching container. You also get 3 one-to-one coaching calls with me a month, one-to-one access to me in Voxer for support between calls, and access to the Worthy and Wealthy curriculum with modules to help you clear up your mindset drama, clarify your messaging, market effectively, and sign 4-figure clients, all before we even start coaching. I created Worthy and Wealthy for the coach who wants to stop feeling like a fraud, sell their services with confidence, and sign 4-figure coaching clients. So are you my next one-to-one client inside of Worthy and Wealthy? Book a sales call at the link in my show notes to start the process. It's kind of ironic that in this episode, I brought up the group dynamic in Worthy and Wealthy because this episode is about making one-to-one coaching great again. Also, let me be abundantly clear. This title is a very, very sarcastic jab at Donald Trump, whom I think is a big, stupid fuck of a man, and I hate him. So let me just be clear about that. And if you're a big fan, we're probably not soulmate clients, and that's okay. Soulmate coach client, however you want to say it. But anyways, this title was just too good. I had to call it that. And it's because that's what I hope to do with this episode. Make one-to-one coaching great again because it is so, so great. I have fallen in love with it after pretty much hating it my entire coaching career. And one-to-one coaching is like a very good cult. You're like, damn, this is my jam. I love it here. I get it now. But when you're outside of it, you're like, dude, those people look kind of fucked up. And all I gotta say is once you get it, you get it. So here's why I think you should love one-to-one coaching, especially if you're a coach within your first 5 years of business. I currently have one-to-one clients and I have no plans of letting one-to-one coaching go for a while. I started with groups and launches. One-to-one was something that always just came into my lap, or someone happened to want one-to-one, but I never intentionally sold it. My life revolved around launches and having groups, but this was a problem for a number of reasons. But most importantly, my focus was more on the functioning of my business instead of actually being a good coach. Because that's what coaching is. You are helping your client move through something or achieve something through powerful questioning and guided introspection. They are wanting to transform themselves and want your perspective on their thoughts and to know your thoughts too. At the core of it, your client wants some kind of result, but if you are more focused on launching things or only working with groups where your attention is kind of divided, your client results may suffer. And if your client results suffer, then you'll lose confidence in yourself and your coaching abilities. I am always hearing from my people who consume my marketing that I'm in their head, and that's because I literally am. I know what my clients are thinking because I sit with a bunch of them for 13 hours a week and I listen to the thoughts in their head. The more I coach one-to-one, the more clear I am on how to solve my clients' problems, all of them. And the more comfortable I am at holding their discomfort as well. The more ways I learn how to get them results. The more confident I get in my coaching, which translates into my selling of any offer that I have. And the more confident I am that once I get people into a group, I can coach them to a result so much faster. Forget what it does to your income too, one-to-one coaching is the foundation that you build your coaching on. Your actual coaching, the way that you coach people. One-to-one coaching just makes you a better coach. And when I say forget about the income, you can make so much money in one-to-one coaching. In the last year, I've made about $150,000 from just one-to-one coaching. One-to-one coaching also creates sustainability in your income and can add consistency to it too. You can have pay in full bonuses or do payment plans, and therefore you know how much income you're receiving over 3 to 6 months to a year, depending on how long your contracts are. One-to-one coaching will also help you streamline your systems. You don't need a bunch of crazy things to onboard a client. You just need a contract, an intake form, and a couple feedback forms along the way. You don't need to be creating new sales pages all the time or figuring out what your copy is. Hey guys, I hope you're loving today's episode. I am just taking a brief pause in today's episode to share with you a client testimonial. These testimonials are either from group coaching clients or clients who are in my one-to-one coaching program. And I can't wait for you to hear how I have changed their lives and their businesses for the better.
Jumping in, I realized that I self-sabotaged way more than I thought I did, and I realized that I was worthy of anything and everything, and I learned to not make my failures and my emotions mean anything about who I am or how successful I can be and will be. So it was just an all-around amazing program, and Jill is so supportive and she knows exactly what to say to help you overcome whatever you're dealing with.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Now let's get back to the episode. It also takes the guesswork out of what you're selling. You can consistently sell your one-to-one coaching every single day without the start, stop, and stress of a launch, or without changing your messaging because it's a different offer. One-to-one coaching is so easy to sell because you can get used to selling it. I sell my one-to-one coaching every day, and it's so nice to not have to think about launching or selling something that my audience doesn't know about, etc. There's so many good things about one-to-one coaching, yet so many people have the misconception that it takes up so much time and space and that they don't like it. But you can decide what booked out means to you. You can decide what days you take coaching calls and what times. For me, I take calls Tuesdays to Thursdays, and I lump my calls together so I don't have huge breaks in between. I also don't take calls in the morning so I can have the mornings to myself. You can create a schedule that works for you, I swear. You may have started this business for your ideal version of freedom and to make money, but remember that coaching is client-centered. Is it really good for your client to just get access to you once a month with access to you in Voxer? Will that really help them get the results that you're promising? This is another thing I realized. When I could get behind the fact that one-to-one coaching was going to be so good for my client, it was much easier to sell. I think about the fact that they get to come to me and be coached on anything and everything, and I'm going to listen to them and validate them and help them get to the best solution possible. Like, who wouldn't want all that time devoted to them? Having a one-to-one coach of your own is also so special and so helpful for getting your brain on board with one-to-one coaching. There is truly no safer and more transformative place than when you are being coached really well by someone one-to-one. The biggest leaps I've made in business have been when I was working with somebody one-to-one. And another thing that I kind of want to say too, off the cuff, that isn't here in the script, is that we can jump so quickly to creating a structure and a business and a suite that looks like how we want to live our lives and the freedom, but you won't have that freedom if you don't get your clients' results. If your client results aren't good, or if they're not happy, or if they don't have any access to you, you will eventually lose confidence in yourself, and it will be so hard to sell your autopilot things, in terms of your courses and all that stuff. And the reason I say this is because I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen people say oh, I want to be like Amanda Francis and I want to have all these courses, and it's but you haven't coached anybody yet. You have no idea exactly how you can help them through just talking to them through a course, right? And like I said, if you are calling yourself a coach, your client results are the most important thing, and if you don't know how to easily get those for your clients, your coaching needs work. And you can't scale and have this freedom-filled lifestyle if you don't learn how to do that. And as always, we're going to talk about imposter syndrome and how it will get in your way of selling one-to-one coaching. If you feel like no one would want to work with you one-to-one, or they won't pay you high ticket, or what would you even do with clients in weekly coaching sessions, this is what you need to work on. Because underneath those questions are fears and imposter syndrome. You need to see yourself as a leader, because like I said, coaching is a lot of things, and one of those things is letting someone borrow your perspective and your thoughts on their situation. If you don't see the thoughts you think as inherently valuable, you need to work on this. Selling one-to-one coaching is selling time with you. So you obviously need to feel confident in yourself, and what you have to offer is so fucking valuable. If you do not solve that problem first, everything else you try to sell will fall short. It's like trying to sell an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen, but you forget the chocolate crunch stuff that they put in the middle that is heaven on a plate. Something will always be missing, and time with you is the best fucking part. But if you don't believe that, you will always discount your services. You will always think that people don't want to work with you. One-to-one coaching helped me fall in love with myself as a coach, which sounds cheesy as fuck, but it is so true. It helped me realize how valuable I am by just showing up and coaching. It helped me charge more because of that thought. It helped me stop over-preparing so much when I did presentations or guest coaching. I am good enough as I am, and I am a good fucking coach. I don't need scripts or templates or anything else. These things are just a bonus. I am a coach, so I became a great coach. And my self-worth has skyrocketed by learning how to love one-to-one coaching again. When you feel like a good coach and you can coach anyone, that confidence is palpable when you show up to sell anything ever again. So, did I convince you to put one-to-one coaching back in your rotation? I really hope so. It is the easiest way to create high-ticket sales through your business in the first couple years. It is the best way to become a really good coach, and you learn how to get anyone results, which will give you the most confidence when you sell because you genuinely believe in yourself and you believe that you just showing up to coach is hella transformative and valuable. And I want you to feel this way about your services. So if you're a coach and you want to stop feeling like a fraud and sell your services confidently and sign 4-figure coaching clients, then book a sales call at the link in my show notes for my one-to-one coaching program, Worthy and Wealthy. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week for the last episode of April. Thanks for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Head to the show notes to find out how you can take this work deeper with me in one-to-one coaching or in the From Imposter to Empowered group program. In the show notes, you'll also find a free 3-day challenge to start the process of overcoming your inner imposter. And once you're done with all of that, screenshot this episode and share it on Instagram, tagging me at your coach Jill so we can connect. See you next time.